Hi, it's Pastor Danny with Grace City Church in Tarpon Springs. It's time for our 2-minute recap. Well, this past Sunday, we talked about the difference between a church and a cult. One source I read said this: there's as many as 10,000 cults in America and as many as 16 million people around the world globally involved in a cult. I personally believe a lot of those people who are in a cult don't even realize it's a cult. So can we know the difference? God's word says, yeah, you can. Let me share with you 4 characteristics of a cult that you need to be aware of and watch out for. First of all, the deity of Christ. If you're part of any church or organization that says that Jesus wasn't truly the Son of God, or that Jesus wasn't God himself in human form, be careful. It could be a cult. Because God's word says as much as Jesus was man, he was God, and as much as he was God, he was man. Jesus said, I and the Father are one. The only way to salvation, the only way sinful man can have a relationship with a holy God is through Jesus Christ himself. Just read Romans chapter 10, verse 9. The second characteristic of a cult would be this: that they hold another book with higher authority than the Bible. If you're part of any church or organization that says, yeah, you can read the Bible, but you also need to read this, and they hold that book with higher authority than the Bible, be careful. It can be a cult. Or if someone says, listen, you just got to read from this one certain translation, be careful. It could be a cult. Someone put it this way: listen, beware of people who use the same vocabulary but a different dictionary. Wow, that's a great line. The third characteristic of a cult would be this: if they believe that their church is the only true church or denomination. Listen, your faith should be placed in Jesus Christ alone, not in a church, not in a denomination. Listen, it's not about labels, it's about Jesus himself. So if you're part of anything that says, hey, we are the true church, just be careful. It could be a cult. The fourth characteristic would be this: if someone who's preaching or speaking is considered infallible or without sin, be careful. It could be a cult. There's only one person who walked this earth who was without sin. The Bible tells us his name was Jesus Christ. Those are your 4 characteristics of a cult. Be careful, be aware, they're out there. That's your 2-minute recap.